nurse's part of that MDS is just invaluable. And you really feel like you can be a nurse because you use every assessment skill you ever learned in nursing school. We don't have the luxury of all the beeping machines that we have in hospitals and that. It takes a whole different skill set to be a nurse in long-term care. And so filling out and completing that MDS, a huge part of it right now is talking to the resident. What's important to them? And if you're working in the hospital, you don't have much time to talk to a resident. And the MDS process is built so that you do talk to the resident because it's an assessment of them and how they function and how they think and how they see and how they feel. And we get to that by interviews. They're actually scripted. So the other talent you have to have is that you have to be able to follow this script that is mandated by the government. You have to follow the script, but not sound like you're following a script. You can't be the robo operator. You've got to sound like you really want to know, you really care, you want to know about them, you don't want to know about anybody else. It's them and me, and we're face to face, and we want to get to the bottom of how they're feeling, how they're thinking. Successful interviews really is a skill. And it's not something that everybody just, falls off the turnip truck and is able to do. You, the assessor, have to be ready to do it. If you're in a hurry, don't go interview a resident. You need to have the right environment. It needs to be quiet. It needs to be that I can see them. And I don't want a desk in front of me. I don't want any barriers. I want to be able to look them in the eye. I want to be able to see their body language, their facial expressions. So these scripts involve an assessment of their mental status, their cognition. Another interview is mood. And it's very personal. Any interview with anyone, when you're one-to-one and you're right there in their face, it's very personal. Have you ever thought about that it would be better to be dead? I mean, serious stuff that you just don't go around the hall saying, hey, have you ever thought about feeling dead? No, it's serious. And it's like, okay, what am I going to do if they say yes? And how are we going to plan that care? There's another interview that asks about what do they want to do when they're in this nursing home? Not what did you used to do, what do you want to do when you go home or whatever, but what do you want to do now? What's important? How do you want to take a bath? What time do you want to take a bath? Oh, I see you like to listen to music. What kind of music? Because not everybody likes every kind of music, so it's important. Again, we want to know about them. We have another interview about pain. One of the hardest things working with the elderly is that they often don't want to say they're in pain. And even folks that are with dementia, that they really maybe don't communicate very well because they don't make sentences because of their dementia, but they've got a lot of behaviors. I wonder if that behavior has anything to do with pain. What is that pain? How can we get to it? How can we help them manage it to the best of our abilities? So it really is just so important to get to them, to understand them, to know how they feel, to know what they're thinking, and then how can we help them? How can we help them? Because that's what we do. We help.